The federal government of Nigeria initiated a drive to improve efficiency with its port reforms program and adopted the landlord model of port management. And the concession plan is to span a period of 10 to 25 years on the basis of long-term leases. This led to the Nigerian Port Authority to build a leading port in Africa. Welcome to another well-packaged episode of a Nigerian Port Today.
Welcome to the news segment. I am Blessing Omeri. Here's the news update. The Managing Director of Nigerian Ports Authority, Hadisa Bala Usman, hosted the Managing Director, Nigerian Liquefied National Gas, NLNG, in continuation of Nigerian Ports Authority's operational thrust of greater efficiency extension through synergy and collaboration with stakeholders. The Managing Director, NLNG, Tony Atta, and his team assured the Nigerian Ports Authority boss of their continuous support in the efficient service delivery. The Nigerian Ports Consultative Council, PCC, held her quarterly meeting in Lagos. The Managing Director, Nigerian Ports Authority, Hadisa Bala Usman, in her address at the occasion, congratulated the Ports Consultative Council, PCC, for sustaining the culture of holding quarterly meetings where issues that border on improving the maritime sector are brought to the front burner, as she stated that the meeting had been proven to be a veritable platform for robust stakeholder engagement aimed at preferring solutions to the challenges impeding our ports from becoming the leading port in Africa, stated some challenges and issues faced in ports business and maritime sectors, and reaffirmed the authorities' commitment to tackling each of these issues, sustainably urging them to remain united to enable them eliminate all obstacles and speak as one voice concerning the need for all parties to be involved. This is all for the news segment. Do enjoy the rest of the program. I'm Blessing Omeri. Goodbye for now.
Let's continue with our operational activities within our ports. This time, we bathed at Delta Port. The port manager, Mr. Simon Okeke, led us through the current state of the port, and as usual, the terminal operators weren't left behind.
The history of ports development in Nigeria dates back to the mid-19th century, long after the onset of seaborne trade that followed the early coastal exploration. The federal government of Nigeria initiated a drive to improve efficiency with its port reforms program, implemented in 2005 and 2006, adopted the landlord model of port management. The key principle of this concession model is to transfer cargo operational obligations to private operators while retaining public ownership of the port infrastructure. This week, our ship berths at Warri, where we have one of the ports in the eastern region, the Delta Port Complex. Delta Port is a home to the ports of Warri, Sapele, Koko, and Burutu at the heart of the Niger Delta. Warri Port, as it's fondly called, is the coordinating point for the management and administration of other ports in the Delta, operating from natural harbors. By geographical location, Warri Port has land in sufficient quantity for investment purpose. Warri Port is landlord to 8 different terminal operators and 17 private jetties. The Old Port A, managed by Intel's Nigeria Limited Multipurpose, Old Port B, NPA Multipurpose, Old Port Canaberth, Julius Berger Multipurpose, New Port A, Associated Maritime Service Multipurpose, New Port B, Intel's Nigeria Limited Multipurpose, Cocoa Ports NPA Multipurpose, Sapele Port NPA, Burutu NPA Multipurpose. Delta Ports distance from Fairway Buoy, Warri 52 nautical miles, Cocoa 41.5 nautical miles, turning basin 250 meters, developed land area 216.19 hectares, container handling capacity 333,000 TEU, key length 572 meters, access channel depth 5.9 meters, functioning inland waterway connection, average turnaround time 3 days, berth occupancy rate 13%, operate on security level 1 and total number of buoys 108. Delta Port global statistical data: ship traffic 448, container traffic 115 TEU, and cargo throughput 5,197,773.
What makes Warri Port unique, first and foremost, is the location. Warri Port is located in a central place in relation to Onitsha, Nnewi, Asaba, and the northern part of the country. And if you look at people that do importation in Nigeria, majority of the importers are from Onitsha, especially they use Lagos port. If you look at it, majority of up to 90% of people that import cargo into Nigerian Ports Authority, they are from Onitsha. So the location of Warri Port is good enough for them to use Warri Port. Then secondly, the port is blessed with good road networks towards Asaba, towards Onitsha, all of that, and then to the northern part of the country. So that location is a unique feature of Delta Port. Then secondly, the environment is peaceful. Before, people used to have this impression that Warri is a troublesome area. The community people have understood the fact that peace is very, very important for port operation, for business to thrive. So the port is now very, very peaceful when it comes in terms of crisis. There's no crisis again. Then secondly, the port is blessed with a lot of oil and gas materials. You talk of gas, you talk of petroleum products and all of that. And that is why we have up to 28 jetties that are operating within the port. It's 28 jetties and tank farms. So that has been more or less our major source of revenue. And as a result of that, if you look at the revenue base of Delta Port, is quite commendable. Then also the port has the potentials of acquiring oil and gas free zone. So these are the unique nature of Delta Port. The port reforms, I could first and foremost start with concessioning. Before 2006, the ports were run by Nigerian Ports Authority officials. We were an operating port. We receive vessels, discharge the vessels, start the cargoes in safe place, and deliver to the rightful owners. During that period, there were a lot of issues. First and foremost, the issue of equipment to handle the cargo. Secondly, the efficiency was not there. The workers were not much dedicated, so to say. Because I could remember in those days, if you had a container to pick, you may find it difficult to locate the container. Some people who came from Lagos could stay up to 3 days without even locating the container, and that means increasing the cost of doing business. Now, with the port reforms, the ports were now given to private operators on concessioning policy. And that means that the MPA is no longer an operating port. We operate what we call landlord mode of port operation. As a result of the fact that, because the governments have understood the fact that the business of government is not doing business. The business of government is to provide ambient environment for terminal operators or private people to come into the business, and that is what has been done. So the Delta Port was concessioned into 4 terminal operators. That is Julius Berger, Intels, EMS, and Greenlee. Port policy of concessioning has actually increased in terms of cargo offering, in terms of ship offering, in terms of ship turnaround time of a vessel. The Vice President brought out the ease of doing business 001. The essence of that is to to reduce all the bottlenecks and encumbrances that people are facing when they come to the port. As it is now, the port has been sanitized in such a way that all those elements that seem to converge inside the port to do whatever they like, they are no longer there. We have been able to eliminate them. The only people that are allowed to come into the port are those who actually have business to do in the port. The staff at the gate, before you could go inside the port, you must have to show evidence that you have business to do in the port. Then secondly, we have created a front desk where customers could come out and make inquiries. That has helped in sorting out some issues. Then also the issue of transparency and reduction in terms of human interface. All the information as regards data port and Nigerian Ports Authority are all seen at the website. So it couldn't take you anything to just go to our website, get all the necessary information we want to do. We used to do a manual manifest, but now we are doing online manifest. So that has seriously reduced human interface. In terms of billing too, we have introduced a revenue invoicing management system.
This BS raising has been made seamless and easy for us by this present management, right from the managing director to our port manager, data port, by automating the billing process. That process has improved our service delivery in tariff billing and improve revenue and customer satisfaction.
We have also instituted a single window whereby the custom department and the various people that are involved in boarding a vessel, they do it at the same time. The essence of that is that it has eliminated the issue of individual agencies for a ship to be cleared. So all these issues have been able to create ambient environment for the customers to operate. Before the coming of the present management led by Hadiza Bala Usman, data ports have had the problem of shallow channel, especially from Escavos Bar, from the breakwater to Bennett Island. As a result of that, we had as low as 4.5 meters, which means we could not bring vessels that can carry economic load. So when Ms. Bala Usman came, we made a point, that is during her first visit, we made a PowerPoint presentation itemizing all the challenges we're having. First amongst all the challenges was the issue of that Escavos channel.
They are supposed to be maintenance dredging every 6 months at BAT, so that we have a maintained depth of 6.5 meters. And vessels coming will not wait for high water.
Our peculiar challenges as far as data port is concerned as a terminal operator, one is the issue of draft. Secondly, the issue of space. When I mean space, I'm talking about the stacking area. The issue of draft have been tackled by the Nigerian Ports Authority in recent time, but still, we still have that challenge. Why do I say that challenge? Because for Warri Port to be optimally effective, we need same draft like what we have in other ports in Nigeria, especially Lagos, Port Harcourt. Because what we are trying to do in Warri and to make Warri work, we are looking at a draft that is beyond 9-10 meters, where we can have liner vessels calling in, then we can promote exports.
Our limitation before now used to be the draft of the channel, but to some extent that problem has been solved, but still need more work, because what we did is a remedial dredging. We actually need the full dredging right from the Escavos Bar to all the beds, both in Koko and in Warri Port. Once that is done, then Warri Port will be one of the best ports in Nigeria.
Community people, there are people from the from Niger Delta, majorly the Warri environment. They have this impression that the federal government or MPA purposely refused to dredge the Escravos channel so as to give advantage to Lagos Port. So their feeling is that federal government is using that as a kind of marginalization to further marginalize them. So, but when the managing director came, we pointed these matters to her, and she made a promise that she was going to remedy the situation, and she lived up to the promise.
In Delta ports is purely of petroleum products, and this petroleum products goes to the jetties. We have about 23 jetties under Delta port. We have some other one which is outside by onshore, and we have some as offshore. But the jetties mainly that took vessels are about 23. And we have about 95% of all our cargoes on petroleum products only. It is the only 5% that is that of general cargo, the reefer cargo, and the containers.
A contract was awarded to the best dredging company, Dredging International, to dredge that Escravos channel. And that channel has been dredged up 7.5 meters. It was purely a remedial dredging. There's hope in future is going to be deepened. And if that is done, it will finally create environment for bigger vessels to come. Before the dredging, we had a lot of challenges in terms of vessels running aground. And you can imagine when a vessel runs aground, it takes almost sometimes 3 days, 4 days before the thing can refloat. The Escravos pilots decided to create an alternative route, which more or less removed the proper route from the channel. So as a result of that, there were a lot of grounding of vessels, coupled with the fact that the navigation to us were not available. That's to say, the buoys that the pilots used to as a pointer as to know where is shallow or where is deep. They were using their human intuition, and certainly human intuition cannot be as good as scientific approach. So as a result of that, almost every week there was no week that passed without us having one vessel running aground. But after the dredging, that matter has been completely eliminated, grounding of vessel. We also did a kind of a study or analysis of the situation before the dredging. We have never had any single vessel running aground. So it has really helped to improve the efficiency of the port, and also created confidence in the minds of our port users. Because those days when the grounding was happening, any of those ship owners who tend to come to Warri, they find it difficult, and they find it difficult because they have the impression that their ship will run aground, and which means the cost of doing business and even insurance premium, all of them were increasing. The dredging has also increased the ship offering and cargo offering up to 50% of the number of vessels and cargoes has been attracted to the Delta port. The issue of community restiveness, that was here when I came, but I had to call the community leaders. We held a kind of roundtable discussion, and there we were able to point out to them that peace is very, very imperative if business will thrive. We have been able to establish peaceful environment. There will be disturbance by the community people, but that engagement we had with them, during that engagement, the Olu of Warri really played a very significant role. In fact, he's a father, because he told them that if Warri port is working, there are the people that will benefit from them. If it's not working, there are the people that will also suffer. And during that period also, we also got involved with the Warri Chamber of Commerce. It was a kind of collaborative engagement.
The security, although the name say Delta Port, so they associate it with Niger Delta. And once you say Delta, they see it as an insecure area. But for the past 10 years, there have not been a single case of piracy in Warri Port. So security-wise, Warri is also peaceful for business.
In terms of security, the channel is well secure right from the Fairway Buoy to Warri Port up to Alaja, and through Nana Creek to Koko Ogara and Sapele ports. All the strategic area along the channel are well policed by joint task force.
Here in Delta ports, we have the complement of the Navy, the Army, and other security agencies that are with us here in the ports. The only problem we would have say is a problem to us is the community very close to us here. And when we came in, we found out that the community is not as bad as we thought they were. The port manager here met with them severally. We have been having meetings with them. Whenever they have any complaint against any of these terminals inside, they run to us first. And we do all we can to see that their issues are looked into. The Olutu is there giving us all the support we wish for.
The trailer park was formerly seized by community people. In that place, they were doing a lot of illegal business. How to remove them from that place has always been a very difficult problem. But I thank God, when I took over as a port manager, Delta Port, I had an engagement with all the people in that place. With the help of the community leaders and the Olu of Warri, we were able to have a smooth sail. We were able to remove them from that place. The place is now clean. If you go to the place, you will see it. So then, as a result of the fact that we were able to remove them, that place has now been leased to an investor who has already now, leased the place for 5 years. The dredging has helped to increase revenue. Our revenue has increased up to 38%. That is from where we had it before. The efforts we are making to further increase the revenue of the port. First and foremost, we have taken promotional visit to various catchment areas. When I talk of catchment areas, I'm talking of Onitsha, Nnewi, Asaba. We had an engagement with them. We were able to find out the main reason why they are not using Delta Port. They said that, first and foremost, they needed a liner vessel. So he said when they have a liner vessel, it will enable them to plan their cargo movement. That interaction we have with these various people I've mentioned made us to understand that the major breakthrough will be to get a liner vessel. And we have come back here, we've sold the idea to the terminal operators here that they need to get a liner vessel if they want their business to increase, and we also want the business to increase. Some of them, especially Julius Berger, has already started the move. They said they were going to establish a liner vessel from Europe to Warri Port. Nigerian Ports Authority has also come up with a policy to encourage patronage of Delta ports. Currently, there is a policy on waiver of charges, that's on ship dues, for every vessel that's coming to Delta port that is having about 15,000 metric tons. The same thing applies to containers that are having about 250 TEUs. So I believe, and this thing we have also, we as a local management, we have made effort to get it to the knowledge of the public. There's a seminar held by the WASIMA, that's the Warri Chamber of Commerce, recently. We were part of it. And we also did advertisement in their paper that anybody or any customer that wants to use Warri Port, you could get that advantage. So these are the efforts we are making to ensure that we increase revenue to this port. Her coming to MPA has done a lot. She is a leader with a purpose. She has turned around in terms of infrastructure, in terms of workers of MPA. Then coming to the other side, when I say she is very transparent. Transparent in the sense that her watchword is that do the right thing and I will stand by you. She does not condone corruption. When we were appointed as port managers, when we had a meeting with her, she told us that if anybody comes to you and says that I sent him or her to go and get one favor or the other, we should call her number. It is difficult to find any chief executive officer who would do that. Some chief executive officer sees that position as a way to dispense favor to their various friends or cronies. But she told us that Nobody, we should not entertain anybody coming to you to say that I sent him or her to come and obtain favor from you. And since I started as a port manager, I have never seen anybody come to me say, Hadiza Bala Usman sent me to come and meet you. To want to be remembered as somebody who made the workers smile. I want to be remembered as one of the best port managers that have come to Delta Port. Delta Port is 100% secured now.
Delta Port is safe. Well, that was quite insightful with Mr. Simon Okeke, the port manager, Delta Port. Don't forget to visit our website on www.nigerianport.gov.ng, and also you can join the conversation on all our social media platforms. Let's get more interactive, and also you can watch our previous episodes on YouTube channel. Until I come your way again, same station, same time. But don't forget that the Nigerian Port Authority is committed to operational efficiency and customer-friendly service, and also the gateway to our nation's economy.